guys, welcome back to my channel. First of all, happy Mother's Day to all you mommies out there, pet moms, human moms, whatever it may be. I hope today that your sleep is plentiful, your food is hot, and your bathroom trips are solo for today. Today we're going to be just reviewing the Dior foundation. I just received this one. It was the Forever Matte, and I've always been nervous to try matte foundations because I am a dry skin girl, but this foundation has had so many reviews from people who have dry skin saying that it actually is more of a radiant matte finish, which is kind of a contradiction because matte is matte, radiant is radiant, but I'm assuming it just means that it's more of a natural matte versus a flat matte. So we're going to try this out today with a couple other things that I still have not tried yet from the VIB sale. First of all, let's give a shout out to my husband for my Mother's Day presents. He knows, and everyone knows, that my first love language is receiving gifts. Just the way that I am, I love being spoiled, and he is the master of spoiling me. I get spoiled for my birthdays, Mother's Days, Christmases, Valentine's Days. Literally any holiday that he can buy me something, he will. And it's always something that I absolutely love. And this year he got me a bunch of the new Victoria Beckham makeup things that I do not have yet. I finally got the golden version of the primer, which I might try today. I'm not sure yet. I have the original right here that I bought myself. I have the golden one, and then he got me a couple lip glosses and a couple eyeliners and mascara and that new green color of the lid luster that I talked about at my Victoria Beckham review video a while back. So I will not be using that today, but I will in a video coming up because it is beautiful. The colors that Victoria Beckham offers in her eye lusters are just gorgeous, and her quality of makeup, I really don't think that it can be beat in some of her products. Everything is just so beautiful. But today we're going to focus on the Dior foundation just to see how it works on somebody with dry skin. The claims of this foundation, let's just pull up the Sephora app. So it is the Dior Forever Matte Foundation. It comes in 43 shades, which I think is amazing. I have the shade 1CR, which is the second to lightest cool shade. There are, I think, 6 shades before mine, but they're all like warm undertone, neutral undertone. I'm cool undertone, so I have 1CR. There is a 0CR, but that one is very, very, very white. It retails for 67 Canadian dollars, so pretty expensive for 1 ounce, yes. The claims are 24-hour transfer heat and humidity resistant with radiant matte finish. And it has SPF in it on the claims, but nowhere does it say how much SPF or what the percentage is. I'm assuming, like most foundations are 30% or 30 SPF. So I'm assuming it's the same. I have no idea because it does not say. It says medium coverage, and there is a scent. The usual Dior scent, nothing crazy, but there is a scent in all their products, and it's very distinct. You know it's Dior. What else? So in the reviews for this, I was reading through to see like what people were thinking who had dry skin, and they said that most of the reviews said that it is a radiant finish. But the foundation is literally called Dior Forever Skin Matte Foundation. So we're going to see what's actually the truth. I have never tried this before. I swatched it to make sure I had the right shade, and it is the right shade, but that's all that I have done. And I have not prepped my skin yet. I did my skincare this morning after my shower. I slept until 10. It's Mother's Day. I did not wake up until 10. That is the rule on Mother's Day in my house. So I'm going to treat this as it is a normal foundation that I wear. Even though it is matte, and I'm assuming that means it's a little bit more drying because it's matte, I'm going to try a very hydrating... I don't know what I'm going to do, actually. I don't want to put too much hydration and end up it like not working the best because it is for matte skin. It is matte. So I'm actually just forget that. I'm going to actually just use my regular primer, the Victoria Beckham original one, which is just the clear. I'm going to use that all over just to give some hydration to the skin first. I was going to use the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream, but I think that because it does have claims of it being radiant matte, that might make it too radiant. I'm not sure, but we'll see what happens. This is my favorite primer in the whole world. It's just very moisturizing and not like oily or slippy. It just feels like my skin has soaked up a drink of moisture. So we'll let that sit for a couple minutes. Actually, last night I tried the Grande Lash Eye Serum, the eyelash serum, and I woke up and my eyes are all red all around. Not sure if that happens to everybody else, but that's what happened to me. So I have to, I think, be really careful with this area today. You can kind of see it's pretty red all around my lash line and under where my eyes were closed, touching the bottom. So, and it's pretty dry. I'm not sure if that's a normal thing, but that was my first time using it. Put some more primer actually on my chin. Looks pretty dry. And I have some breakouts today because I had dairy yesterday, or 2 days ago actually. I made my Starbucks drink at home like I usually do. I feel like it's just a lot cheaper and tastes better and it's healthier at home. Plus I just got the new Brevo Barista really nice coffee espresso machine. But I made my drink, and then as I was putting the lid on it, I spilled my drink all over the floor, the counter, the sink, and I had no time to make another one. So I went to Starbucks and spent the $10, $9.10 on the drink. But they have dairy in their sweet cream cold foam. I don't in mine at home. And then I wake up and I have just breakouts everywhere. I have cut out dairy from my diet completely. Other than, well, I use oat milk usually, or like lactose-free other products. But since doing that, my skin has made a huge difference, and my stomach has had a huge difference as well from cutting out the dairy products. Okay. For this foundation, I'm going to do one side with a brush and one side with a sponge, just to see if it makes any kind of difference. I'm going to shake it. It does sound very liquidy and kind of sounds pretty thin actually. But the glass bottle, it's a frosted glass bottle. It's very beautiful, very elegant, very Dior. I would not expect anything different. Let's do one pump. Do this side with a brush. I'm just going to use the Say Beauty foundation brush on this side and just see where it goes. And the scent is definitely there. I usually don't buy a lot of Dior products because of the scent. It's just very overpowering and very perfumey. I don't know why they have to put so much in there. Like, who does it help? I think it's just like a signature scent, so they do because people expect it to be there. I don't know. I'm not going to put any on my eyes. I don't want to have foundation and concealer and eyeshadow, especially that it's irritated right now. So, oh, and that is giving a nice coverage. Let's move my mirror a little bit closer so you can see. And it's definitely not a flat matte. You can even see it still has like a radiance to it. And it's not full coverage. I can still see redness poking through. I can still see some of my blemishes. And I do have some sun damage right there from all of my teenage years of self-tanning in the tanning beds. Very bad for you. Don't do it. But it's not hydrating like it claims. It does look pretty dry, to be honest. But let's see. I know sometimes they will look dry when you put them on, and then as like your skin's natural oils come through, it kind of makes it look better. So let's see if that's the case. But that was a full pump on one side of my face with the brush. And I don't think I could have made that pump last the whole face. It doesn't really cover very, very much. there's not that much of a difference in my face from the foundation to no foundation. So definitely a medium, like if that coverage, but does look pretty dry. Let's see if the sponge side looks any better. Do another pump. I'm actually gonna dab it on my face first on this side and then blend it out with the sponge. That just looks like a lot less coverage, but still dry. So not my favorite. I think the only difference is that this side just looks more covered than this one, but it has the same, oh, don't do that, has the same finish, the same amount of dry looking as the brush side. Yeah, it does cling to everywhere that's not extremely moisturized. This is not a favorite of mine, that's for sure. I don't really like this very much. So it is a matte, but it is not a flat matte. It is definitely what it claims to be, is a radiant matte finish. But I'm wondering, because of that strong fragrance, I'm gonna break out. So I'm not gonna keep this on for the full day today. Probably just a few hours. And then take it off before we watch our movie. And I'm gonna try to build it up just a tiny little bit. Whatever's left on my hand still, just on my cheeks where it is pretty red. No issues with that. It does build up nicely. On my back. I need to get a stool that has a back on it, I think. My back is really sore when I do my videos. Let's just bring it down my neck a little bit to blend it in. So right now, if I'm looking up close. Okay, so the sponge side does look a lot better. There is no clinging right here on this side where I even built it up. There's no clinging. But on this side with the brush, there's a lot of clinging right around here. And even when I smile, it kind of looks crepey right here, like I have like old skin. This side does not. So let's just try to make it look. Doesn't look horrible. Like, I could make this work if I really had nothing else to wear, which isn't true. But if I didn't have anything else, or if like everything else got ruined and I had this last foundation, I could make it work, you know? It's not like it's not a huge deal breaker. But now that it is setting, it does look a little nicer than when I first put it on. It looks more radiant. Definitely, I would not call this a matte at all in any means, actually. If I were being honest, I would call this a natural satin finish for sure. Not a matte. It's not matte. I don't know where that claim came from. I have a breakout. Oh, I have a little pimple right there. And a breakout right there. I'm going to use concealer to cover that one up. That just showed up right now. I'm not sure where that came from. It's a big one though. Okay. Let's try to get this a little more blended around my nose. I get the most cracking and foundation breakup around my nose. I think that's normal with everybody though. But this one seems to blend pretty nicely right there. Okay, we're gonna stop with that for now. And this is what it looks like right now with nothing else on top of it. Natural satin. There is some radiance there, not matte at all. I don't think anything on my face looks matte at all. So I don't know where that claim is from. Anyway, let's now go in. I want to show you guys something first. I got these off of Amazon. And if you have pets like I do, and it's funny, whenever I watch my videos back when I'm editing, I always see my cats back there in all the videos. And it's funny because usually when I'm not in here, they're not even in here. They like laying in the kids' rooms or down in their cat tree. But I got these boxes off of Amazon. These brush boxes, and I am obsessed. When my brushes were out in the open, there was like cat hair in every little brush. Now I have this little brush case that has a lid, so my brushes stay away from all of the fur. This is my my face brush one, and then I have another one for just my eye brushes because there's so many. But definitely something, if you have pets that are always like getting into your brushes, not getting into them, but just like their hair that flies around and ends up in your brush, and then you end up having to pick it out in videos or when you're doing your makeup like I always do. Huge thing. And it's like, I think it's $40 per case, but it holds a ton of brushes. Anyway, just wanted to mention that. Next, I'm going to just take my Valentino concealer in the shade Light LIGR2. So I'm assuming that is the second lightest cool shade. And I love the doe foot on this one. It's just so unique. Can you see that? It's very tiny and very expensive for how tiny it is. Let's just put a little bit just right there. I'm going to try to conceal some of that redness from the lash serum, but not too much because I don't want to have a ton of product on there when it's already irritated. Put a little bit on my eyelids, a little bit right here. That's it. Let's just blend that out a little bit. And this concealer is very hydrating. It does give a nice glow when you blend it out. And I love that about this concealer. And it's pretty sheer, but it does offer the amount of coverage that I need in my routine. Blend that out on the eyelid. So it covers that redness exactly how I wanted it to. It's not completely covered, but it's covered enough so it's not just like right there. Just using my Sephora Pro concealer brush. Super soft, very good quality brushes if you're looking for something that's not like super cheap, but not like Sonia G expensive. Also going to take that concealer and just cover up that thing up here and kind of like right here where it is pretty red. I can hear my kids outside. My husband is currently vacuuming and cleaning out the pool. And they're on the trampoline. Okay, that's better. This concealer is one of my favorite concealers along with the Givenchy concealer. They're both just very good coverage and very hydrating looking. Not cakey at all, just beautiful, beautiful formulas. as they should be, because those brands are expensive, but you get what you pay for. Just gonna make sure this is all blended out good. And I'm not gonna set this because I don't want more product under there, like I said earlier, but I will set my eyelids just because I don't want my eyeshadow to crease. So I will do that first before I do anything else. I'm just gonna take my usual Giorgio Armani powder and just set my eyelids. You can kind of tell. As I'm touching my eye, it's just getting redder because of that irritation. So I don't think I'm going to use that Grande Lash Eye Serum anymore. I was just trying it. I wanted to see what it was like. And I've heard that people have had good results from it, from the reviews online, but I don't think the results are worth this situation. So let's just stick with what we have. Or I can just get lash extensions or my lashes lifted again if I wanted something different. That is good for now, and you can see the red coming through. That's fine, whatever. But everything else looks pretty even and pretty neutral. I'm feeling pretty low maintenance today when it comes to my face products because of what's going on with my skin. So I'm not going to sculpt today. I'm just going to use some bronzer, which is the Marc Jacobs Tantastic Omega Bronze. Just going to use a little bit of this to warm up my face. And with that, just my Sonia G Jumbo Bronzer brush. And this bronzer has a lot of fallout. Warm it up just a little bit because it is looking pretty flat with that foundation. You will very rarely see me set my face with powder. Unless the foundation is like super glowy and like oily looking, it's just not going to happen because I don't want to add more powder to my face. That is it for that. Okay, and then for blush, I'm just going to use the Dior blush, the Dior Backstage Rosy Glow. Just this really super cute pinky pink. And with that, just my Makeup Forever brush. It's not the most pigmented blush, that's for sure, but it does kind of give like an airbrushed finish when you put it on. And it's not glowy, it's a very matte blush. Just like a very cute pinky pink, like Barbie kind of pink. Let's just close that door. It's banging again. I'm just really not loving how this foundation is looking under everything. It just looks more dry as I keep going. When I first put it on, it was looking pretty dry. Then I think my oils kind of set in. It made it look a little bit more radiant. And now it's just back to being really dry looking. Let's try to see if you guys can see. But you can kind of see on my forehead, it's settling and making lines that I didn't even know were there because I do get Botox. But it's settling right there and looking pretty dry and clinging to everything that even has the remote amount of dry on it. So I'm not loving that, which is not a problem because I do have so many that I do love. I was just curious, you know, to see if it was a radiant matte long wearing foundation. I was just curious to see how it would work with my skin. I wasn't expecting anything enormous to happen or some like revelation to happen to my skin with it being on, but I was just curious, so I will send that one back to Sephora. But everything else so far is good. I love blush. It's so beautiful. No matter what you're wearing, blush just kind of makes everything look a little bit better. Okay. For highlighter, I'm going to use the Dior Forever Couture Luminizer in 02 Pink Glow. I got this one from the Dior website. I really wanted the limited edition packaging with the Christian Dior writing on front of like the fabric, but they were all sold out when I finally discovered them. That's okay. Just add a little bit of this, a little bit of swirl, and top of my cheeks. It's a very low maintenance kind of highlighter. Nothing crazy, just kind of a nice sheen to the skin, but no like color or white streak, just kind of a nice glow to the face. A little bit to my nose. When you're picking it up on your finger, the color payoff is a lot different than when you pick it up with a brush. So on my finger, you can kind of build it up to be a nice, I'm not even sure if you can see that. You can't even really see that. It doesn't really show on my skin. It's not really a highlighter. I think it's more of like a topper of highlighters, but I didn't really want anything too highlighty on my face today because I do not plan on wearing this foundation for very long at all, really, because it doesn't really look that good. It feels very heavy on my skin, which is unfortunate, but you know, we can't have everything work for our skin all the time. Okay. So for eyes, I have been dying to try this palette. This is the Dior palette, eyeshadow palette. Come on. In, what is this? The 5 Colors Couture palette in Soft Cashmere. Beautiful colors. I have been dying to try this out. So with this, just gonna do a simple look with it. Let's take that medium brown color. How is this for fallout? Let's see. Definitely not even close to as much fallout as the Natasha Denona palettes. Pigment's good though. Let's just put this all over my lids. Oh yeah, really nice colors. What color? Good pigment right there. It is like more of a taupey, gray with some purple in there. I'm gonna put that all the way up right there and bring it all the way in, right down to the bridge of my nose, right in there. Let's bring you a little bit closer for this. Again, that color. There is no fallout when I tap my brush, and no fallout on my face so far, but the pigment is there. It's exactly what you want from an eyeshadow palette. You want it to not have fallout, but still have enough pigment when you pick it up with your brush that it shows on your eyes immediately. Bring it down. Making sure they're even as much as possible. And this is my first Dior palette. I don't really have anything else eyeshadow wise when it comes to Dior, but I really want to get that one that has that really beautiful blue shade in it, but I can't find it anywhere that has it in stock right now. But I do have my name on the restock notification thing when it does come back in stock on the Dior website for Canadians, because that blue color I think would be stunning. And I've been really into green eyeshadows lately because my eyes are a light brown. The greens just look really good against my skin next to my eyes. So I'm looking to see if they have a Dior palette that has that kind of green in there that I like. But this is blending out very nicely. I'm having no issues with blending. No like significant amount of buildup of eyeshadow in one spot compared to the others. It's just blending, the edges are blending nicely. Everything's working well together with my concealer and the powder underneath. So far, no issues. So that's it for that color. Next, I'm going to take that darker shade. It's kind of like a maroony brown. Just going to take a very small amount of that one and put it on the outside to give me some depth right there and open up my eyes a little bit. For that, let's just try my new Tris McEvoy 29 tapered blending brush. Very small amount. Oh, doesn't really pick up very well on this. There we go. On this brush, and just put it right there and blend it just a little bit to the middle and like a fake wing direction. Not really a wing, but in the direction a wing would go. This color too blends out beautifully, no issues. I love when things just work how they're supposed to work. Like, why make things harder for people when you don't need to? And when a company is as big and as successful as Dior, you really would expect the shadows to work like they're supposed to. It's hard to tell right now because I do have natural light coming in from my windows along the side of the wall, and then just the light above me, but they are even in the mirror. This side just looks lighter, I think, because of the window. But so far, beautiful palette. Everything blend. I wonder if I should have used that I forgot to put that middle shade. I should have used that all over my lid. I'm gonna take that middle shade right there with the Dior writing on it and just use that over top of both of these shades, just in the crease, to see if that kind of melts them all together and gives more of a transition. Yeah, I should have used that. That's a really nice brown. Oh, didn't even see that in the middle there. I just thought it was part of the packaging. But that is the perfect color for a transition shade. That brown right in the middle. I wish for people who weren't like artistic in the eyeshadow department, they would have like instructions on every palette about where each color should go and what order you should apply them in. That'd be really helpful for people who weren't makeup artists. That looks a little more seamless now. Wonderful. Okay. Now I'm going to take that beautiful shiny gray color just at the bottom there and put that all over the lid, but avoiding that outside area. And I need to find a flat brush for that. Just going to use my MAC brush. Well, this one seems more powdery, which I'm surprised because it looks like it would be more shiny. But let's put that, oh, that's beautiful. Let's put that all over the halfway mark. Oh, that is really nice. Oh. And that shows up very nicely. Hope that you can see in the video how nice that is picking up on my eyelid. Oh yeah, that's really nice. Wish I knew what this color was, because I would get this color in a single because that's a really beautiful shade. It looks more silver when you put it on your eyelid. It doesn't really have that gray color, like that deep gray taupey color. It's more silver on the eyelid, and it's beautiful. Oh, I love that a lot. That looks really nice. And I hope that you can see it in the camera right there. It has a beautiful shine and beautiful sparkle to it, but not like a chunky glittery way. Just like a nice, elegant sparkle that you would like to have on your lid. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. And that was with a dry brush. Can you imagine how much more intense it would look if the brush was wet? That is really lovely. For that lightest shade there, it looks like the same formula as the one that I just used, but I'm going to use that just on my brow bone and my inner corner. But I want to do my brows and lashes before I do that part. So we're going to just stop this for a second and finish everything else. For my brows, I'm just going to fill them in just a little bit with my brow pencil. I don't do too much with my brows because they are microbladed, and even though they're not as thick as I would like them to be, they are filled in. There is no bald spots left that isn't microbladed, but I do want to find a new microblading artist to do them because I'm not really happy with where I've been going. Because it's permanent makeup. It's supposed to be permanent. And where I've been going, I have to go like every 6 months to get it touched up, which is not normal. It's supposed to be permanent makeup. It's a tattoo gun and a tattoo ink into your skin. It's supposed to be permanent. You should not have to go for touch-ups every 6 months for it to still be showing. It's just ridiculous. So I am trying to find a new artist that does it properly. But I just like to make them a little bit thicker, just along the top part. And my tail, I like to be up a little bit higher because they did tattoo it to be a little lower than what it should be. Having hooded lids, it's better for your tails to be like up like that to make the lid not look as small, but they did not know that. And then I'm also just going to use some of my Huda Beauty, where is it? My fluffer thing. What is it called? Where is it? I know I had it out here. Oh, right in front of my face. The Huda Beauty, it's called Fluff and Fluffy. I knew it was called Fluff something. And it has little fibers on it that cling to your eyebrow and just make it look really natural and like fluffy, really. But not a whole bunch of hold. But I don't need that because my eyebrows are pretty short. I don't have like the big fluffy long eyebrows that you can like stick up and make look really feathery. I don't have that. Okay, so I'm gonna pause right now and just go ahead and do my lashes off of camera. And then I'll be right back to finish up the look and my lips and give you my final thoughts on the foundation. Right now it's not looking very good. I'm gonna see how it sets in a couple of hours to see if maybe my my natural oils will make the foundation be less dry looking. But right now it's not very promising. My skin just does not look good. It looks very like old, like dry, and not the most natural or radiant that I like my skin to be. It just looks very dry, especially right here and around my nose look pretty dry. I'm not really happy with how it's looking, but I want to give it a chance and see if my skin itself can make the foundation look better as the day goes on. But I'm going to do my lashes off of camera and then be right back, okay? Okay. Lashes and eyeliner is on. I actually just tried to apply lashes for the very first time in my entire life. I did tape it because it was just a ridiculous mess. And I figured you guys could laugh at that after done watching this video. But that is what my eyes look like right now. With my eyeshadow on, my brows done, and my lashes done. I'm just going to apply some eyeshadow to the bottom lash and then finish up my eyes before I move on to my lips. And with that, I'm just going to take that middle shade again on the Dior palette and just go along my bottom lash. This is the most perfect brown. Let's just use a mirror. I'm just going to take that. My lashes look ridiculous. Just ignore the lash situation. It was my first time applying falsies, and I'm pretty sure I have the wrong shape. Actually, I'm not pretty sure, I'm positive. I have the wrong shape for my shape of eye. Wrong shape of lashes, I mean. They're just way too long and way too fluffy and curly. But we are learning, and you don't know unless you learn and practice. I mean, just take that along there and then take that even darker shade and do the same thing. Kind of smoke it out a little bit. Okay. And then that darkest shade again, just along the very, very outside. And connecting the bottom to where that is. Y'all, I don't know how you apply lashes and do this part with lashes on. I don't think falsies are for me. I think I just need to stick to getting my lashes tinted and lifted and then use my own mascara, because falsies are really hard and they just don't look natural on me. I think my lids are just too hooded and too small for a strip lash to look good. But we're gonna learn, we're gonna practice things, because I will never know unless I try. But that is it for my eye makeup. Looks like I've given myself a black eye, but that's okay. This is not a good look. This eye looks so much darker. I think the strip lash has a very dark band just on this side, because now my eye looks extremely dark over here and this one does not look the same. But when I'm looking at my eyeshadow, the eyeshadows look like they are applied the same way. And it just looks like more of a shadow on this. I think just because of my light in my room. But I'm not going to mess with it anymore. Just going to mess it up. So let's just take that very light shade in the palette and highlight my brow bone. Well, this is very, this one feels less creamy than the other shades of the eyeshadow. It just feels really powdery. But it's not bad. Apply that to my inner corner. This is my least favorite shade of the whole palette. And even picking it up and putting it on my hand, there's literally nothing coming up. Let me just wet this brush quickly. Okay. And then let's try it again. No, it's really not picking up anything. So I'm going to use that silvery color to do my inner corner, because that one actually shows. Okay. This is what we're working with for today. I am just going to apply some mascara to my bottom lashes. And applying my falsies have pretty much ruined my look. So I'm not going to be wearing this for very long at all. And the foundation, to be honest, does not look good at all. It looks very dry and very like thick and feels heavy on my face. But I love the way that eyeshadow worked. I loved that pink Dior blush. I liked the highlighter. I wouldn't buy the highlighter again because it is very sheer and you can't really tell it's there. But it does give a nice glow to the skin. It's not like a highlighter per se. But I think the star of the whole video was this eyeshadow palette, surprisingly. And the concealer, of course. The concealer was very, very good. But failed on my lashes, and the foundation is a fail for me for sure. I do not like it at all. I want to try to bring you guys a little bit closer so you can kind of see, if you can, it just looks very cakey and looks heavy on my face. I'm going to send that one back for sure. And I'm also going to send back these lashes to Amazon because that's where I got them. They're just not good. The glue I think is amazing that I used, but the lashes are, I used the Kiss Ruffle lashes with the cushion flexi band. It's supposed to like, contour nicely, which it did, but they're just not a very good shaped lash or a good style for the shape of my eyes. Okay, lastly for lips, I'm going to apply the Jaclyn Hill Pout Spoken Lip Liner in the shade Hope. And then on top of that, my new Victoria Beckham Posh Gloss in the shade Tan Line. It's just a very natural nude color. And Victoria Beckham's glosses are my favorite glosses. But the Jaclyn Hill lip liner, not my favorite. That's actually the last time I'll use that one because that does not look very nice and it just feels very dry. Okay guys, that is it for today's video. I think we pretty much have an idea what I'm going to say. The foundation, which was supposed to be the star of the video today, is going to be a fail for me. My skin just does not feel or look good. I used my same skincare, I used the same primer, I used the same type of formulas on top of the foundation, and it just does not look good at all. It looks very dry, it feels very heavy, and it feels like thick on my face. I'm not a fan, and it just does not look good anywhere. It has started to crack already. It's been 1 hour, and it's already started to crack along my nose. My forehead does not look good at all. My cheeks do not look good. It just does not look good at all. I think this is definitely meant for somebody who has oily or even normal combination skin, but not anybody who has dry skin, in my opinion. It just does not work well. Even with hydrating foundation or hydrating primers and skincare, I don't think this could work for you if you have dry skin. Out of everything I put on my face today, the blush from Dior was the best, and the eyeshadow palette for sure. And again, I did get the eyeshadow. And again, I got the eyeshadow palette in the shade 669 Soft Cashmere. This is a beautiful palette, you guys, and I'm going to pick up a couple more because I think the formula on this palette was beautiful, and everything in the palette except for that light shade. But I think I have to just figure out how to work with it because it is just very powdery and very fine. I don't really know how that would work on the eye, but regardless, the palette is beautiful. Formula is amazing, and I will recommend this. But out of everything else, like the foundation, I can't recommend. My concealer, I love the Valentino concealer is amazing. You will like that one if you have dry skin. It's very hydrating and doesn't accentuate any lines or dry spots. But that is it. Hope you guys have a wonderful Mother's Day and you have a great week ahead of you. And I will see you in my next video. Have a great day. Bye.